Law of attraction, the most powerful law in the universe. I love this law. Okay? So, first of all, the definition of law of attraction, which I wrote, that which is like unto itself is drawn. Like attract like. Okay? Have you ever noticed that when you start wanting to make a lot of money in real estate, and all of a sudden you start talking to people, right? Even in this room. And you say, I'm a real estate investor, I develop, blah, blah, blah. Half of the people I talk to today are real estate agents who does real estate investing and developing. You ever notice that if you work the high-end market, you start interviewing, talking to people, their average sales price is in the high end. How did that happen? You didn't just knew that he was a high-end agent, you just walked up and it just shabam, lines up. That's like attract like. You don't even have to try, folks. You say what you want, the universe lines you up, shabam, shabam, boom. Here's what I realized, including myself, we don't spend enough time figuring out what you want and why you want it. You think you know what you want. I want to make a lot of money. That's how most people's business plan is. I'm saying know what you want and why you want it. Let me tell you why I want to be the first Vietnamese American billionaire. Because I have a huge heart for contribution. The more money I make, the more money I give to charity. I have a whole village of family that live in Vietnam, and I want to help my family in Vietnam become self-sufficient forever. That's why I want to become the first Vietnamese billionaire. At the same time, if I can live in a shelter for many years, and if I can become a billionaire, what's possible for you guys? That's the reason why I'm playing big. I have no problem falling on my face and feel stupid and look stupid. Okay? Next thought. You are a powerful magnet. Okay? Visualize that. You are a powerful magnet. And your magnet power hinges upon your use of thoughts. You are a powerful magnet. So imagine you guys are a magnet. Okay? Your magnetic power hinges upon the use of your thoughts. And I wrote down here, we are all magnet. And with our thoughts, we attract things into our experience, good or bad. What you think, what you say out of your mouth, and how you feel, okay, you're attracting it. Most of the time, you attract things you feel. You got make sense? So you say, I want to do 5 deals a month. That's what you say. What does most people feel if they've never done 5 deals a month? Impossible. What else? Just don't believe. Somebody says scared. All right? Now let me ask you a question. You say you want 5 deals a month, but you are really feeling scared, nervous, fear. That's what you put out to the universe. If you are feeling nervous, the universe lines you up with more nervousness. You walk into the room, you say, do you want me to handle the sale for you? But you're vibrating doubt. And you wonder why the seller says, thank you, but I'll get back with you. You get that, you guys? Okay? Let me show you how human beings vibrate, okay? We're like a radio station. You know how you say, I want rock and roll, 92.3. You dial in and you get rock and roll, right? Everything in the middle is static. You with me? First of all, you have a thought in your mind, right? You say, I want 5 deals a month. It's a thought that comes in your mind. That thought turns into a form of energy. That energy gets vibrate to the universe. The universe hears it and replies to you instantly in seconds. Bam. If a toaster in your house broke right now, do you think you can get a toaster within less than 24 hours? Right? Because you have no doubt. you have no resistance, that's not possible. You with me? Do you think because you have the money or because you have a belief that, hey, if a toaster broke, I can get one? Now let me ask you this question. What's the difference, okay, on saying you need a toaster and you get a toaster within 24 hours and saying I want to make $10 million within 1 year? Only what you think, talk about, or feel that's possible. Okay? Thoughts. Next thoughts. As you give thought to what you want, okay? As you give thought to what you want, your magnet reaches out into the universe and attract other thoughts that are like it and bring it upon you. You say it and shabam, it shows up. Now, 2 weeks ago, two of my friends, we were talking about investing in buying, well, first of all, I wrote down in the beginning of the year, one of the things I want to invest in is buying a hotel. I don't really care where it is. I want to own a hotel. It's a real estate piece of property. I want to own a hotel. My friend called me 2 weeks ago and said, hey, you want to go to Vegas and meet this guy? He's a multi-millionaire. He owns lots of real estate. He owns hotels and everything. Come to Vegas. I say, I'm there. I show up, and we meet this guy named Henry, right? He lives in Texas. And we get talking. Henry says, you know what? There's an opportunity in Costa Rica that there's a hotel down there with a casino in it that I'm thinking of go down there and buying. And I'm 77 years old, and I don't really care for it. I want to just put the deal together, and if you and all your family want to come together and buy it, I'd like to be partner of it, and then I can have my friend run the whole thing, because he used to manage the MGM casino. And I can have him run the whole thing, set it up. I said, wow. So those three guys are going to Costa Rica next week. I can't make it, right? I said, wow, Costa Rica, never been there. That's interesting. In the last 2 weeks, I have talked to people who been in Costa Rica, talking about Costa Rica, going to Costa Rica, investing in Costa Rica. I talked to Jeff Quinton, and him and his investor bought 300 acres in Costa Rica. Now, first of all, I'm thinking Costa Rica, investing in Costa Rica. How in the heck can I align with somebody that said, I'm buying something in Costa Rica, and I'm also investing in Costa Rica? Not just I've been there, but I'm investing. I talked to Heather, and she said, I have a friend who invests in Costa Rica and a real estate agent in Costa Rica. In the last 2 weeks, I've talked to 10 people who've been to Costa Rica and also invest in Costa Rica. That is an example of that thought I just gave you. Folks, I'm telling you, be careful what you think about. It always come true. Danny, what thought? Oh, be careful what you think about. You always will get it. It's true. Folks, think about everything you got in your life, good and bad. You thought about it. Okay? Next thought. Other thoughts, emotion, circumstance, events, other beings who are wanting that which you want are brought together. You ever notice happy people hang out with happy people? How did that happen? You ever notice negative people hang out with negative people? Now watch this. Have you ever noticed rich people hang out with rich people? Poor people hang out with poor people? Folks, you cannot fight the universe. Who here don't believe in gravity? Raise your hand. Gravity is the exact same thing as law of attraction. You don't doubt gravity, but people doubt law of attraction. Next thought. In short, you are getting what you are thinking about, whether you are wanting it or not. This is where defaults come in. Let me give you an example of what this means. We all have been here. We have an appointment to go somewhere. We're running late. We get in our car and we're flying down the street, right? what do you naturally say when you're flying down the street trying to get to your appointment? Huh? I'm late. I'm going to be late. What else? What? I hope I don't get caught getting a speeding ticket. Folks, that's what I'm saying, that we don't even notice what we say. I've been there 100 times. I used to get tickets all the time. I'd be running late, and I say it in the back of my mind, I hope I don't get pulled over and get a ticket. Now, I don't say that, verbally. I say that in the back of my mind, and I feel that. You with me? I feel nervous. I feel scared. I'm going to get pulled over. Get pulled over every single time. Who here been there? You know what I'm talking about? That's default. Let me give this really, really powerful example that moved me, and hair on my arm stands up straight. Last year in December, for the last 2 years, I've been traveling to see my family in Vietnam, to go help the family in Vietnam and take them on vacation, right? So last year, me, my wife, my mom, my dad, all my brothers and sisters, we flew back to Vietnam. We go out there, we hang out, and then we decided to take my grandmother, my aunts, and my cousin to fly out of Vietnam, because they never flew on a plane before, and take them somewhere really, really nice, right? So my wife and I, Cammie, decided that we want to take them to 4 places. We want to take them to Bali, Indonesia. We want to take them to Singapore. We want to take them to Angkor Wat, Cambodia. And we want to take them to Halong Bay in Hanoi, up in North Vietnam. Okay? So Cammie and I, we have this agenda, how we think is going to look like. You with me? Anybody been in that situation? How you think you're going to achieve your goal? Give that up. We say, let's save the best 2 for last. Let's fly from Vietnam up to Hanoi, Hanoi down to Angkor Wat, Cambodia, Singapore, Bali, Indonesia, and then back to Vietnam. That's what we said. And we said, let's go on, I think it was December 12 or something like that. So we said, this is how we're going to do it. This is what I'm committed to. We go to a travel agent place, and the travel agent say to me, look, Thach, I'm sorry, but you have to go 1 day later. And you have to go from Bali, Indonesia first, and then work your way back up to Hanoi and back to Vietnam, because it's more expensive and blah, blah, blah. I told Cammie, screw it. You know what? Let's pay it. Let's be done with it, right? Cammie said, you know what, honey? There's resistance there. Just let's go with the flow. When there's any resistance, you guys, don't force it. Go with the flow. Remember that. So we bought the ticket. We went with the flow. Okay? Now, when I travel, okay, I have intention on safety. And in Vietnam, there's that chicken flu thing, right, last year? So I also intend perfect health and well-being. When I drive fast now, I don't say, I hope I don't get a ticket. What I say is, I'm intending perfect record in safety. You with me? Okay? So I intend safety and well-being in Vietnam, okay? So we go this whole thing. I get back to Vietnam on December 24th, and I turn the TV on, Christmas Eve, and the tsunami hit Indonesia. Folks, my intention was to go to Indonesia last. My intention was to go to Indonesia earlier. If I would have went how I think it's supposed to be, my whole entire family would have been dead today. You cannot mess with the law of the universe. I said safety and well-being. I stepped back. I still went to the 4 places, but the universe says, I'm going to make sure that I give him his intention. Safety, well-being. Didn't get sick. The universe put us in the perfect position. We landed in Vietnam 1 day before the tsunami hit. Every time I think about that, I get goosebumps. All I can see every time I see those videos is my grandmother, who's 84 years old, could not run fast enough, or this wave would have all been wiped out. That is the law of attraction, folks, working. I'm telling you, get clear on what you want. You always get it. Next. Law of attraction. is absolute and consistent. And it works even in your ignorance of it. If you don't believe it, you will suffer. Even if you don't believe a law of attraction or gravity, it's working around you 24/7. I wrote down here, if a kid don't believe in law of attraction or gravity, it's working around him. He always falls. I'm telling you guys right now, law of attraction is all around you. It's in the air. If you believe it, you can make it work to your benefit. If you don't believe it, you will suffer for many, many years. You wonder why you make a lot of money, but you struggle. You make a lot of money, right, and you stress. You wonder why you're single. You wonder why you have a bad relationship. All law of attraction working for you. Okay, next. As you begin to give thoughts, no matter where the stimulation has came from, it might have came from a friend's word, the television, from something you have been reading. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the stimulation came from. You are now in the position of thinking and pondering upon that thought. Can you guys relate so far what I'm talking about? Can you already feel the goosebump flowing in your body? I don't watch television. I don't read the newspaper. The more you read it, folks, and the more you listen to it, the more you accept that's what is. I don't read it no more. I only read inspirational things, and I create that's what is. I wrote down here underneath that comment, be aware of what you are thinking all the time. Otherwise, outside influence can affect your thoughts, and you can attract it into your experience. Watch out who you hang out with. Or watch out what you read, what you see. I tell you, the biggest, most powerful thing you can do is have a group of mastermind people you hang out with on a constant basis. Because all you become is like them. Okay? Next thought. As you ponder that thought, the law of attraction go to work for you and begin to offer to you other thoughts that are of similar in nature. Similar in nature. Let me give you an example of a positive thought, that works. We all been here, okay? When you focus on contact, what do you get? So why do you focus on contact? When you focus on appointment, what do you get? But do you want appointments? What do you really want? Sales. So why don't you start focus on listing sold? If you focus on listing sold when you're prospecting, would you not get contacts and appointments? You just only attract listing sold. If you focus on listing sold, will you not get a perfect price listings? This is 1, 2, 3 steps beyond what you've been normal thinking, isn't it? Okay? Me, this is what I focus on, you guys. I focus on, right now, at the beginning of this year, I retired from selling real estate. I don't sell real estate no more. I spend full time investing and developing. I have a belief that you guys see in that $1 million a month. I have a belief that I only attract deals at 25 to 50% below market value. See, I'm all about making a lot of money, but don't really have to work that hard. If you can actually say, I want to make $2 million, Maxine, but you didn't have to take a listing, would that be okay with you? I cold call this guy, and I say, I noticed you own this large apartment building. Would you like to sell it? I have a list of what I think is a perfect customer also. I think about this perfect customer. He said, yeah, I'm thinking of selling that. I said, well, I'd like to buy it from you. How much would you like? He said, I own it for, I'm 77 years old. I own it for 30, 40 years. You know what? Give me $1 million bucks and you can have it. You sound like a nice guy. And I said, really? Okay. And I said, well, I'm also curious, would you consider doing a seller's contract? He said, yeah, no problem. How much would you want down? He said, how much would you like to give me? Right? And he said, how much interest rate? Whatever you want, you tell me. I bought it for $1 million and it's worth $1.6 million. And I never met the guy at all. I did everything over the telephone. And I talked to him twice already since I own it in the last 6 months. And the guy loved me. He sent me referrals. See, I'm about making money. Well, let me ask you this one. Who's to say you have to make money even listing and selling a house? Who's to say you couldn't buy a property and make money just assigning it to somebody? I had a friend, I just bought this, Jim Sullivan. He cold called and found this vacant land in Florida. $40 million what it's worth. Old man says, 87 years old, if I got $1 million for it, I'm happy. Now, Jim Sullivan has a standard also. He don't buy a thing at market value. The guy said, give me $1 million, you can have it. Jim gave him 18 million, okay? He bought it and or assigned it to his other friend because he don't know how to build on the island for $10 million and closed in 60 days. Because the builder got a $20 million discount. And he said, I close on it right now. So Jim bought it for one price. I signed it over to somebody else. 60 days later, he got $10 million. He did no work. That's outside the box thinking, you guys. Just to give you some thoughts to start thinking about. Okay? Now I'm going to give you an example of a negative attraction, which we, human beings, spend 90% over there. Watch. You're hanging out with some people and they're sick. They're coughing, sneezing, hacking. And you start thinking, what? Huh? I hope I don't get sick. And that is the beginning of the attraction, starting getting sick. You get all of a sudden, and you go, there it is, I'm sick. And then you think more of I'm sick, and you start to attract more sickness. And the universe aligns up and it validates what you wanted. Who been there before? Folks, I don't get sick. I have intention on well-being, perfect health, all the time. Let me give you another one. Who is an investor? Own rental property. The rental market is soft, right? What does most investor talk about right now? Selling. Or I can't find no renter, right? I have close to 100 units right now I own, from apartment buildings to commercial buildings and blah, blah, blah. I have no vacant. I have a list of what a perfect renter is. And I attract perfect renter, and I manifest that my property is always full 24/7. Life is easy, folks. Everything I think about, I get. I believe it. But I've been studying this for 2.5 years. All my investors are suffering right now because they suffer going vacant left and right. I teach them this. They don't believe it. I'm like, all right, whatever. You suffer then. Your choice. I'm hoping you guys don't suffer from this point on. Okay? Next thought. I'm telling you guys, this is powerful stuff. Simple, but hard to train your brain. Okay? Next thought. Your emotion, oh my God, it's so powerful. Your emotion are your guidance system. Pay attention to the way you are feeling. Pay attention to the way you are feeling. If you are giving thoughts in the direction that is wanted, the thing you want, your guidance system will offer you positive emotion. You can relate to this, right? If you are giving thought in the direction that is not wanted, your guidance system offer you what? Negative emotion. Who's been there? You walk into the house and you already can feel it in your gut feeling. He's a pain in the ass seller. Raise your hand. You know it. He's vibrating. He's resistance. He's controlling, right? And you pretend like you don't feel it. And what do? I take the listing. What happened? He beat us up like a bunch of rag dolls for 90 days, 180 days, and the damn thing never sell anyways. But you knew it the minute you walked in. Who here know what I'm talking about? Been there. Your guidance system is your emotion. When your gut feeling tell you, don't do it. If I would have went with my thought of, I'm going to go to Singapore first, I would have been dead. Here's another example. You drive to your friend's house, but you ain't been there for a while. You get to a T. Consciously, you think, turn left. Your emotion says, turn right. You listen to your drunk monkey. You go left. 2.5 hours later, you flow, dang, I went the wrong way. That is your guiding system. Every time I get ready to do something, I match up my emotion to what I'm doing to see if it's good or bad. If it's good, feeling good, I go for it. If it's bad, I don't touch it, I move away. That's how fast I make decisions. Pretty simple, folks. But you got to learn how to tune in. If you're too busy chopping wood, you can never feel your emotion. If you want to do more, you have to learn to do less. When Matthew Ferry told me that, I thought he was a cuckoo bird. Now I understand what he means. Next thought. When you give thought to something that you do not want, and you stay focused on that thought, by law, you are attracting. By law, you are attracting more and more and more until eventually you will attract those events or circumstance right into your experience. Let me give you an example. You put a deal together, especially the big deal. Can you visualize what I'm saying? Big deal. $1 million, $2 million. For some people, maybe $5, $10 million. And it's pending. What did you say when that thing is pending? I hope it don't fall out of escrow. Folks, do you see why you guys are self-imposing every bad and good experience in your life? I have been in that situation so many times, I don't understand why deal fall apart. All right? You are manifesting the deal to fall apart by default. Let me tell you what I say every time a deal comes together and it's pending. I say the deal is going to be easy flowing, smooth, fun, joy, effortless transaction, close quickly and efficiently. That's what I think. I just put this deal together the other day. It was so awesome. I manifested. I said, I want to find 20 lots in the city where I live at, which is like trying to find 10,000 acre in LA basically, right? And I said, I want to find 20 lots. In 24 hours, I get a phone call from a realtor and said, you want to buy 18 lots? I'm thinking, you got to be yanking my leg. Ain't no 18 lots in this area. We went up there and bought it, closed it in 30 days. I'm going to develop 18 houses on it. It take me 6 months to 12 months to develop 18 houses, and that project will make me $3 million. And I manifested this less than 30 days ago. I also wrote down 30 days ago, I want to manifest. I want to find one commercial property to buy. I own this one commercial land over here in this area where we also live, and we were going to build 8 townhouses, and we're going to sell it. We get a phone call from the city, where notice you guys own this land. There is a large piece of land next to you, and we want to help develop this area, make it look nicer. Would you buy this land if I can get the owner to sell it? I'm like, please don't twist my arm to make this deal happen for me, right? The old man says, you know what? I'm not interested in developing with partnership. I'd rather just sell it. The guy said, give me $700,000, you can have it. The building, this lot he owned is worth $1 million. We gave him $700,000. When I put this whole thing together, right, there's a lot next to this that the city owns. It's 9,000 square feet. The city says, we like you guys so much, you can have this 9,000 square feet to go with the whole package. That's easy flowing, folks. There's retail on the bottom. We're going to do retail on the bottom, right? Well, the more parking space you have, the less retail, right? The city owns this humongous 5-story parking space next door and says, we really want you to do this. We'll give you parking space across the street for all your tenants. That way you don't have to put no parking in your building. I'm going to do 15,000 retail on the bottom and 100 unit apartment building on top. In the city, waiving all my permit fee, all the fees, everything, just to have me do this. All of it within the last 30 days. I'm really committed on having transaction and finding perfect people and have no resistance in the process. And I'm telling you, I get those all day, all night long. It's only me, my wife, and my wife's sister is our team. We're a team of 3 people. And we don't need a big staff. We just find perfect deal, easy deal, simple, slam dunk deal, and that's all we attract. That's why I like to keep my life simple. But you gotta notice that I'm clear on what I want. Okay? Next thought.